May the gods bless us with good lighting. A lack of conflict only means two things. It can only mean two things, really, if you think about it. Now, I'm sure there's always discrepancies, but hear me out. It means that either A, there is no problems at all between you and whatever you're in relation in. But for this example, we'll just say you and someone else. So it either means two things. One, everything is perfect. Or B, everything is not perfect and you are not articulating that. You are not communicating that. And in point B, if there is not conflict, but there is internal conflict, that just means that problems are going to be harbored inside you. Negative emotions will be harbored inside of you. So if you're in a relationship or in relation to somebody who there's a conflict with that is not being spoken of, resolved, talked about, or acknowledged, you will just harbor negative emotions inside yourself and start to bear resentment. Oh, it's a good one right there. It's a good boogie. Now, in most people's situations, there is some sort of unresolved, unacknowledged conflict present in their life. So, in this case, I would argue conflict is a good thing. Now, that is for most situations, because if everything's not perfect and whatever this thing is your relationship with, and you are in a constant presence of this thing, then you will have internal resentment. And that will only create little problems and little things. Whereas if the conflict was acknowledged and communicated, there could be growth on both sides, growth in the relationship, and life will have less stress. There'll be less internal pains inside of you and whatnot. So therefore, I'd argue that conflict is good. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, almost with anything. So the only time conflict probably isn't good is really if there is some sort of situation where that conflict is going to be terminal. So if it's going to be terminal, that just means it's going to kill the relationship. Some relationships, and if your relationship is that fragile, and this is the thing, if your relationship is that fragile, where if you were to acknowledge that conflict and communicate that conflict and it would kill the relationship, that's probably a relationship you don't want to be in. All right, guys. Peace.